Hey guys, French Tutor here. Today I wanted to talk about how to efficiently farm for Brant's echoes. Since patch 2.1, his echo farming became so much easier and better. So I wanted to show you all the new updates and which echoes to farm for. Alright, let's get started. For Brant's echoes, we're going to farm for the Tide Breaking Courage set. And most of these echoes are decent choices to farm for. Oh, and before you start your echo farming, make sure to consume some sweet and sour pork, which will increase your echo drop rate by 50%. Okay, first, let's talk about all the echoes you could farm in the Riccioli Islands. This is the new region where you could farm for a bunch of new echoes for Brant. First, let's start with Hurriclaw. It's a cost 3 echo and it only drops the Tide Breaking Courage set. So that makes your echo grinding much more efficient. It's pretty dangerous to fight and very tanky, so you need to keep a distance when it's trying to maul at you. Also, it charges up a projectile, so you just have to time it and then dodge it correctly. But in my opinion, they're worth farming every day because they only drop one set. And only 2 other echoes do that, the Light Crusher and the Rage Against the Statues. And while you're farming Hurriclaws, there are 2 cost 1 echoes that you should fight alongside with. First is the Arrow Prism. It also drops the Eternal Radiance set, so if you have Phoebe or Spectral Rover, it'll be good. It gets a little annoying to fight them when they use their tornado moves, they're hard to approach. Try to use range attacks or non-physical attacks to avoid damage if you can. But other than that, you can beat them pretty quickly. Next is the Calcified Junrock cost 1 echo. It also drops the Empyrean Anthem set, and they are super squishy and easy to defeat. But unfortunately, there's only 9 of them every day, so keep that in mind. For their locations, I would start at the Port of Riccioli and Helm Village. It's best to use flight to go around these spots. Next, teleport to Drake's Island and you can fight 3 of each of the echoes. And finally, I would go to Ray's Ruin and you can at least fight 6 of the Arrow Prisms. A bonus echo you can farm while you're around these islands are the Rage Against the Statue. It's not for Brant, but if you have Phoebe or Spectral Rover, it's an amazing echo to farm. So if you're at Drake's Island, make sure to farm these echoes as well. They're one of the best echoes to farm in the entire game. Another great and amazing way to farm for Brant's echoes is to farm the entire Chop Chop group. They're a group of 4 echoes that all drop the Tide Breaking Courage set, which is amazing. The 1 cost echoes are Chop Chop Headless, Chop Chop Leftless, Chop Chop Rightless. They are all separate echoes and parts of an actual Chop Chop, which is a 3 cost echo. Chop Chop Headless also drops the Eternal Radiance set, and Chop Chop Leftless and Rightless also drop the Frosty Resolve set. These 3 usually come as a set and are relatively easy to defeat. And then Chop Chop is an actual 3 cost echo, and pretty much it's a whole of the 3 1 cost echoes. It drops the Tide Breaking Courage set and the Empyrean Anthem set. These get a little tricky to fight sometimes because they can grab you and they move around a lot and they're just a tiny bit tanky. Try to take them down as quickly as possible. First, I would farm them in the Polyphemos Windmills. It's pretty convenient to start from left to right. Next, I would head on over to Thessalio Fells, but at the end of the video, I'll give you a quick tip for other echoes you can farm. Lastly, if that's not enough for you, you can go to the Oakheart High Court, which is the maze. But for me personally, it's kind of annoying to farm them here, but it's up to you. Next up is the Dearness Knight, which is a 3 cost echo. This echo also drops the Eternal Radiance set, and they're an actual guaranteed echo drop. So they're very worth farming for, especially if you need echoes for Phoebe and Spectral Rover. It's pretty tanky and moves around a lot, but it does have some predictable attack patterns to take advantage of. I would fight them here at the Hollowed Reach and near the peninsula. And then I would fight these 3 at Silver Moon Grove. These for some reason don't come up when you try to track them, and I think that might be a bug. Lastly, you could fight about 4 of them near the Alvarado Vault, but you have to teleport a few times because some are elevated and some of them are on the ground. For 4 cost echoes, you want to farm the Dragon of Dirge. And it's right here on the map in Penitent's End. It's a pretty tanky and it's kind of a strong boss, so just be careful. I would say these are all the most efficient echoes to farm for, but if you do have Carlotta, here are some bonus echoes you can farm for. Abyssal Gladius can also be a decent 3 cost echo to farm for because they are very close to a lot of groups of Chop Chops. It also drops the Midnight Veil set and is accompanied by Abyssal Mercator, which drops the Frosty Resolve set, and Eternal Radiance set, and Abyssal Patricius, which drops the Frosty Resolve and Empyrean Anthem set. And both are 3-cost echoes. You can find them all grouped together in the Thessalio Fells. Diggy Duggy and Lottie Lost are 1-cost echoes that come in a group, and they drop the Eternal Radiance set and Frosty Resolve set respectively. They also come with the 1-cost echo Hocus Pocus, which drops the Empyrean set and Frosty Resolve set, and a 3-cost echo Cuddle Waddle, which drops the Frosty Resolve set and Midnight Veil set. Farming them all would be a good goodie bag of Sonata sets. Here are their locations, and as you can see, you can find them anywhere. You can't go wrong by tracking Diggy Duggy or Lottie Lost. Thank you so much for watching today. If you liked the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I have more beginner guides and character guides on the left here. Take care now. Bye.